Hi, my name is Katie O'Brien, and today we will be talking about deep sea mining, the conflicts and the politics behind the controversial topic. Why all this sudden interest in the seabed, miles under the surface, a place that few ever see with their own eyes? The answer is simple: critical minerals. The floor of the ocean is littered with potato-sized rocks called polymetallic nodules, rich in metals like nickel, cobalt, copper, and manganese. These are the very ingredients needed for the global green energy transition. Think electric vehicle batteries, solar panels, and wind turbines. For nations eager to secure their supply chain and reduce reliance on land-based mining and the geopolitical risks involved in that, the deep sea looks like a mineral jackpot. Proponents argue this new industry could provide an environmentally less damaging source of these essential metals compared to traditional mining and offer much needed revenue for small island nations. But this is where the politics get murky. The vast majorities of these valuable deposits are found in an area often referred to as the high sea, or international waters beyond any single country's jurisdiction. Under the UN Convention of the Law of the Sea, these resources are deemed the common heritage of humankind. This common heritage is governed by a little-known body based in Jamaica, the International Seabed Authority, or the ISA. The ISA is tasked with two contradictory mandates: one, regulating the exploitation of seabed minerals, and two, protecting the marine environment. This inherent conflict is the heart of the political tension. For years, the ISA has been working on a mining code, the rules, regulations, and procedures that would govern commercial deep sea mining. But in 2021, the Pacific island of Nauru, sponsoring a Canadian-backed mining company, triggered an obscure legal provision called the two-year rule. This rule effectively forced the ISA to either finalize the regulations within 2 years of a member state invoking it. If the deadline is missed, the ISA must consider any application and can provisionally accept these plans, even without a completed set of rules. While the ISA missed the deadline for the final rules, the door is now technically open for applications, putting immense pressure on international communities. The debate has created a distinct geopolitical divide. The first group, the pro-mining bloc, this group includes states like China, a major holder of exploitation contracts, the sponsoring island nation of Nauru, and other interested mining states like Norway, which has proposed opening its own waters. For them, resource security and economic opportunity outweigh the immediate environmental risks. Notably, the United States is not a member of the ISA, complicating regulatory landscapes, as some US-based companies explore options to circumvent the ISA framework. The next group is the moratorium/precautionary pause block. A growing number of countries are calling for a full ban or a temporary precautionary pause until scientific understanding of deep ocean ecosystems is much greater. This group includes nations like France, Germany, Chile, and numerous Pacific island states like Fiji and Palau, who are worried about the impact on their marine environment and fishing industries. They argue we must not risk catastrophic damages to the last untouched ecosystem on Earth for a quick mineral fix. There's also non-state actors, environmental NGOs like Greenpeace, indigenous groups, and a large contingent of scientists are fiercely advocating for the moratorium, pointing to the irreversible damages to unique, slow-growing ecosystems like hydrothermal vents. The conflict pits resource nationalism against environmental protections, developed nations' technology against developing nations' sovereignty, and the urgent demand for green tech against the fundamental precautionary principles. The negotiations continue, with the ISA setting new aspirational timelines to finalize the mining code, but the core question remains unresolved. Can the ISA draft regulations that genuinely protect the marine environment while allowing for extraction? How will the promised profits from the common heritage be equitably distributed to all nations, particularly those least developed? And crucially, will major powers respect the international regulatory framework, or will we see unilateral actions that undermine decades of ocean governments? The future of deep sea mining is more than an environmental issue. It is a critical test of global cooperation and international laws. In summary, deep sea mining sits at the crossroads of global sustainability and global politics. The demand for critical minerals is pushing nations to consider the deep sea as the next frontier, but the risk to fragile ecosystems raises serious concerns. The ISA is struggling to balance regulations and protections. Countries remain sharply divided, and the outcome of these debates will shape not only our energy future, but the future of ocean governance itself.